The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
Our stock of the day is Mineral Resources. Speaking of volatility with my guests, Henry Jennings from Markets Today and Andrew Whiteland from DP Wealth Advisory. Look, this is a very volatile stock as of late. If you recall, on Monday, picked up a lot of ground on a UBS upgrade. We've seen some institutional buying in the company as well. However, this morning, the company flagging haulage disruptions, further haulage disruptions on its Onslow Iron Haul Road. A 6th jumbo road train crashed on its network in the Pilbara region. Haulage will continue to use alternative routes while the company investigates the cause with WorkSafe WA. Now, the company says that volume guidance is not expected to be impacted. However, there are a lot of unknowns still when it comes to MinRes, and at least one group, RBC Capital, has said that this pause in operations could make it a little bit more difficult for the company to de-gear in the near term as Onslow ramps up, as it impacts its free cash flow generated from the project. And of course, de-gearing is something that MinRes and its shareholders have high on their wish list. So let's find out what my guests have to say about this one. Henry, MinRes, is it a bargain or just still too tough to catch a falling knife?
Well, as Mr. Shakespeare said, troubles come not but in single spies, but in battalions. And certainly these Mineral Resources does have battalions of troubles there at the moment. You know, not only is the iron ore price under a little bit of pressure, let's face it, it's held up above 100, so that's good, but lithium has not done an awful lot. They've also got a mountain of debt, governance issues with Chris Ellison, of course, being investigated still. And this Onslow Iron Haulage Road has caused them lots of problems, 6 trucks, and mainly it has been caused apparently by driver error rather than problems with the road. But they are spending quite a lot of money, $230 million at last count, on repairs to this road. They did blame the cyclone recently hitting there for some issues with the deterioration of the road. Not sure that's completely true, but anyway, we'll see. But certainly it has been problematic. Morgan Stanley, don't forget, bought 49% of this road for $1.3 billion. So I'd be a little bit unhappy if I was at Morgan Stanley, and maybe some due diligence should have been better. The issue for this one is the debt. And certainly, you know, the market is banking to some extent on the fact that at some stage they are going to need to do some sort of equity raise. We did see that upgrade by UBS. Maybe they're being nice and playing nice in the playground, so they get a seat at the table for some sort of equity raise. But that is definitely still a possibility. They sold off this haulage road, or at least nearly half of it, and they did sell the gas assets to Gina Reinhardt. So they have been scrambling around for money. They are going to need to get that debt down, and this doesn't really help. It has been volatile. You know, it's nearly touched $20, which is, you know, extraordinary when you consider this was a market darling at $80, $86 at one stage. So at the moment, I think the volatility scares me. I would just stand aside until we get more clarification on this. But I would imagine that some way down the track, they're going to need to do something to address this debt burden, and that will raise money, and an equity issue will be front and center there. So I'd be waiting for that, to be honest.
Got it. Andrew, MinRes?
I can think of lots of reasons not to be there, Nadine. That short interest number, the number of investors who are suggesting that the company, or betting, I should say, that the company will go lower, the share price, that's pretty high. It's well over 10%. You've got all those governance concerns relating to Chris Ellison, and even though, you know, it's, well, you know, he's on the way out in 18 months' time, and, you know, we've got it under control and nothing to see here. I mean, you can see how that's going for Richard White with WiseTech as well, and sort of ASIC's, from what the media is suggesting, their interest in that business as well. So from a governance point of view, that would have institutional investors concerned. And then on top of all that, you've got the operational piece. that we were just talking about before. So I can think of lots of reasons not to be there. Also noting that Mr. Ellison also controls around 11% of the company. So that's having him on the register is just another complication. And despite the share price being down 64% so far this year, Nadine, it's a hold.
Got it. All right. Thank you, guys. That's Mineral Resources, I should say, MinRes, and it's the stock of the day.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.